Hello everyone, my name is Raresh Philip and this is my project for my Games Technology course at Coventry University, which involves 3D graphics programming in OpenGL using free Glut and Glue open source libraries, and the implementation of physics in this boat minigame. In this video I will explain as best as I can about the graphic implementation of the game, such as 3D models, lighting, and other graphical assets. In the next 3 minutes of the video I will broadly present you my creation. Okay, so basically this is my game. As you can see, you have the instructions right here in the upper left corner of the screen telling you how to move the boat, how to operate it, and you move it with the arrow keys. As you can see, if you push the up arrow, it moves forward with a little bit of velocity there, and if you press right, the boat is gonna steer right. And as you can see, I have made a track of 2 circles that's supposed to be buoys in order to actually mark the track. So 2 circles of lighted spheres, not spears. And here we have a black finish, the start or finish line, because as you go round and around, you make laps, and you actually you do laps basically, and you move around velocity, and you also have you can move back also, and well, when you try to actually run into the buoys, you get stopped. Actually, get stopped if you run in them. If you run them really slowly, you only get stopped, get stuck in there. But if you get a little bit of speed and you get into them, you actually get bounced back a bit. See, like it gives you, it just bounces you back. And besides the movement of the boat, you also can change the camera view from third person, like I am right now, by pressing space, and you get into the overview perspective. And you can see your little boat up in the sky, following around. And also when you press R, you basically reset the whole thing, get the boat back to where it was with back into the third-person perspective camera. Okay, so now that we have seen our game in action, let us take a look at the code a little bit to see what we have around here. So here we have some classes we've declared earlier for our boat. Has a method called drawBoat, which it has been used in the drawing routine, and this is physics stuff. We're not into that right now. And I want to explain the buoy class first, which has its own coordinates and its radius that we need in order to actually draw a circle of buoys to make the track. So we have right here we have the line that actually draw a circle of buoys right here. This for loop makes the outer circle of the buoys with the number of buoys which has been defined earlier back up, and this is the inner circle of buoys. I have used the loop presented in Samantha Guha's book about making circles, and I use that algorithm to actually make circles of buoys. And for those buoys I have applied this set of values for the light and material, because if you want to give a material properties to a shape or a polygon, you must first turn on lighting here in the setup, um, and then choose your model to your shade model to be GL smooth, because of this function you can see that that the spheres here, the buoys, are shined as if they were round and smooth. For the boat is the same process as the buoys, conferring the material. uh, I try to put actually the material of ambient and diffuse with these values to my boat, but it happens, something actually awkward happens. It hasn't been light up as the sphere used to be, and that's because um, the boat has different coordinates as the normal units in the lighting. So normals are some sort of vertices, are a sort of vertices, sorry, that actually defines where the light hits. So if you create a new shape, the normals will be different than the glued normal shapes, such as a sphere or a cone. So that's why I made not a variable here, actually a list of free coordinates, which defines the coordinates of each normal, and try to make the lighting work like that, to make the lighting to take shape. For the camera state, I have used a global integer named third person, which is either 1 or 0 based on whether you press the spacebar or not, which is hold on a minute, which is right here. If you press space, it turns the third person to 0. That means it goes into the overview perspective. If you press it again, it turns back to 1, meaning that these values, based on the third person variable, the camera coordinates change. I have made the class method, actually a class named camera, with all its coordinates based on the glue lookat function, which describes where the camera is positioned and where the camera looks at. So we have here the set coordinates. As you can see, we only need the coordinates for the eye, where the camera is positioned, and the coordinates where the camera looks at, basically. In order to set the overview of camera, we must have the y coordinates of the eye a little bit up, so that it's situated 40 units above the boat, and it must stare on the y-axis at the boat minus 20 units, so like staring down. Aspect that I'm going to present to you is the text that has been shown on the upper left corner of the screen. So I have the function writeBitmapString, which takes a font and converts it into any kind of string that you put in the parameter list up here. Okay, so in order to write on the upper left corner of the screen, we must write GL push matrix and GL pop matrix, and put the code that writes the function that writes our string in between those two functions, as it creates its own coordinate matrix, and then define the points where you want that writing to be positioned, and then use the function by writing the string, writing what you want to be written in the second parameter of the function. Overall, I think the graphical weaknesses of my game would be that there are no textured shapes and has less complicated shades beside the boat made from multiple polygons, but the lighting is pretty decently implemented.